All right. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining the Pax8 Microsoft monthly update with us. I am excited to go ahead and kick us off this February. We've got a quick little rundown of what we are going to be covering today. We've got a couple introductions. We've got some program updates. We're going to talk about Teams Premium. We have SIPPIO that's going to be joining. And lastly, we're going to wrap this up with some enablement updates. As always, we're going to have Q&A throughout the session, so feel free to just pop those in the chat as we go through, or you can save them to the very end. You can ask those and we'll read them out live on our side. All right, if I have not met you yet, my name is Kristen Fehrenbach. I'm the Senior Director of our Microsoft Go-to-Market business here at Pax8. You're going to hear from Devin, Britton, Vandit, and Nicole and James. They're going to be in the background helping answer those questions as they come in, so feel free to drop those in at any point. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Devin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Like Kristen said, my name's Devin. I'm a Microsoft Programs Manager here at Pax8. So we're just going to go over a couple program updates. Some of them we may have seen before, and we have one new one today. Let's start with the legacy to NCE migration, which we talked about last time, but just want to keep that top of mind as your renewals are coming up for those legacy subscriptions that you have. So Microsoft started the transition on January 11th. So your transition will not happen until your renewal date comes up. So if you've got a little bit of time, you can figure out what you want to do. It does start at 12 a.m. UTC. So keep this in mind when you're working with your different time zones. UTC is usually a little different than 12 a.m. your time zone. So keep that in mind. And subscriptions will be locked 48 hours prior to that 12 a.m. UTC timeframe. So if you're wanting to go in and upgrade yourself or make changes or do anything to your subscriptions, you want to do that more than 2 days in advance. Otherwise, it will be locked and you'll have to wait until after the Microsoft migration. With these migrations, if you let Microsoft do them for you and you just wait for them, they will open a 7-day window for modifications, changes, cancellations, whichever you want to do. If you do decide to cancel, you will need to retrieve your data within 7 days or it will be lost. So just keep that in mind. All of your subscriptions, if you go through the Microsoft migration, will auto migrate to annual commitments with whatever billing term you had with your legacy subs. So if you had a monthly billing term, it will stay on monthly. If you had an annual, it will stay on annual, but it will be locked into an annual commitment. So if you want the monthly commitment, you will need to go in and do that and change that and during the 7-day window. Any subscriptions that are tied to one another will all migrate on the same date as long as they are all eligible for migration. So if you have a base license that's legacy that has a good migration path, but you have maybe a public sector add-on to that, neither of those are going to migrate until the public sector add-on is made available. So just keep that in mind. Some subs don't have a migration path. So these are legacy subs that may not have an easy transition. You may need to go in and migrate those manually. So if they don't have a migration path, and we can drop the link of those subs in the chat here in just a few. Be sure to keep an eye on those. You'll want to migrate those manually yourself. And then if a subscription has a schedule change, so if you went into the Pax8 platform and scheduled a future cancellation or a future seat change or anything that is supposed to be effective after your renewal, it's going to be canceled. So you either need to go in and self-migrate yourself so you can take control of those changes and make them on your own, or you'll have to wait for the 7-day window to open up and then go in and make those changes because the scheduled change that you made is not going to work. And just a reminder that Microsoft announced that public sector offers, it was delayed from January 1st to March 1st. So March 1st, Wave 1 and 2 are going to be released for those public sector offers, and then Wave 3 on April 1st and Wave 4 on May 1st. And keep in mind that after May 1st, there will be no new purchases for public sector legacy offers. You will only be able to purchase those new on NCE. So self-upgrading, this is what we allow you to do in our platform. So we're obviously encouraging all of our partners to go in and migrate themselves before the Microsoft migration. This is just because you can take control of it. You can change your seats. You don't have to wait for that 7-day window. You just can do it all yourself and there won't be any issues. like we said, we are locking those 48 hours prior. So if you want to do this migration yourself, you'll need to go in more than 2 days in advance. Self-upgrading using our tool. So it's only available for those that have an equivalent NCE offer. So if you have a public sector SKU, it's not going to be available in our upgrade tool in the platform. So once those SKUs do become available in March, April, and May, you will be able to go in and self-migrate those through the upgrade tool. Prepaid annual legacy commitments, if you're upgrading midterm, those will inherit the legacy commitment end date if you do it through our upgrade tool. So you'll be keeping that same renewal date regardless of when you self-migrate through the platform. If you do want to choose a new term and a new renewal date, you'll need to order the NCE subscription and then go in and cancel the legacy. Upgrades through our tool, partial or full, they don't open a 7-day cancellation window. So you'll need to make all the changes you want to make when you're doing that upgrade. They are permanent because they are not seen as a new order. So if you wait for the Microsoft migration, those will open a 7-day window. If you do it yourself through our platform, they won't. So make sure you know exactly what you want before you go in there and upgrade your subs yourself. When upgrading a subscription to a new product, they will not co-term with an existing sub of that same product in the customer tenant. So just keep this in mind when you're going in and upgrading those. And then upgrading to NCE through our tool will create a new subscription ID. So you'll need to go in and resync your PSA if you use those PSA integrations. So this is how it looks on our platform. If you go in, you'll see your legacy subscriptions and there's a little upgrade button right there on the top right. So you can do this yourself. You'll just click that upgrade button. It'll walk you through. It'll ask you if you want to change your seats, change your commitment term, whatever you'd like to do. It will prompt you to pick all of those things before you proceed. Just a reminder, no 7-day window. So make sure you have all of those choices selected and correct before you press go. Your licenses will not need to be reassigned because it's not a new order. The upgrade tool from legacy to NCE can accommodate base and add-ons. So if you do have legacy subscriptions that are all eligible for migration and they have those migration paths ready to go, you can do those with your bases and your add-ons. If you have subscriptions on an annual billing commitment, it will upgrade that legacy renewal date. So keep that in mind, and it will not start a new 12-month commitment. So like we said earlier, if you want the new 12-month commitment or you just want a new anniversary date, you're going to need to order those legacy or order those NCE subscriptions new and then go in and cancel your legacy. The blog. The NCE blog is where we keep all things up to date on NCE, the migration, anything you need to know about incentives. It is all in there. So we can drop that link in the chat as well so y'all are able to see that. But we try to make it as easy as possible for y'all and get all the information in an easy way to find rather than searching through Microsoft documentation. Okay, next, Microsoft announced late last year about these CSP revenue requirements. So this is a new revenue requirement of $1,000 USD or equivalent if you're in a different currency for trailing 12 months. So this only applies to resellers that have been authorized for a year already. So if you're only under a year, this will not apply to you yet. So this is starting April 1st. So starting April 1st, you'll be required to keep $1,000 revenue trailing 12 months in each region. So if you have one tenant, but you have multiple MPNs in multiple regions, each region is required to meet this $1,000 level or you're subject to deauthorization. If you don't make it to that $1,000 and you are deauthorized, you have to wait at least 1 year before you can re-enroll for status in that region. So keep that in mind. If you have multiple MPNs, you want to make sure each one, if you do get a notice about deauthorization, which Microsoft will send these out, be sure you're checking the correct MPNs. You don't want to look at one and think, oh, I'm selling over $1,000 in this region, and then realize you're looking at the wrong MPN. So just keep that in mind, and we will get a notice as well. So we're going to stay on top of this. And if you want to work with your Pax8 account team to see what you can do to get those regions up to that $1,000, we encourage that. And also, if you have subscriptions with multiple providers, so say you're purchasing from Pax8, but you're also purchasing from another provider under the same MPN, that revenue is combined. So you want to make sure you're checking all of your regions, all of your MPNs, all of your providers to make sure you're reaching that $1,000 so you don't get deauthorized. Next, new benefits. So Microsoft released on January 22nd 3 new benefits packages. These are just kind of honing in on specifics, and you can add these if you are MAI CPP partner or if you have legacy benefits still. These are, you can add these on, you can buy these by themselves, whatever you'd like to do. There are some new benefits, so you want to screenshot this, and we can also drop the link in the chat for some more documentation on this. But keep an eye on these, see if they're applicable to your business. The first 2 are obviously not as expensive as the full benefit package. So if it's, worth your while to add these on, you should totally look into them. And also in terms of benefits and incentives, just want to remind y'all today is February 12th. February 15th is the last day to claim your co-op dollars for the last half. So claiming will end on Thursday, and then Friday will open up the new claiming period for the next half. So just keep that in mind if you're using those co-op dollars and you don't want them to go to waste. You only have 3 more days to get those claims submitted. So yeah, I think that's all I've got. And I think we're going to move on to Teams Premium, unless we have some questions, Kristen.
We're answering them in the chat already, so we'll just go ahead and move on over to Britton.
Can you see me on screen here with the Teams Premium?
Yes, you are ready to go, ma'am.
Excited. Thank you so much. We've been heading into lots of conversations about AI readiness over the last, 6 months, 7 months. It's been quite some time. And we're just going to continue in this conversation by touching on some of the other AI-infused products at Microsoft, one of which is the very, very popular Teams Premium. So let's get started. Most days, it feels like the speed of work is an immutable law of nature. And with this comes new demands, brought by the markets that we serve, our internal teams, and the evolving threats to privacy and security. So many organizations are finding themselves stretched too thin, leading to unexpected costs, increased risks, and possibly employee burnout. Because teamwork is the key to success of any organization, but work relationships have fundamentally changed over these last few years, and it's not always for the better. With more flexibility, more people working remotely, and more people working non-traditional hours. This means that although it's a great win for the individuals of the workplace, working together and staying on track can sometimes take even more effort. And every business wants to grow, whether it's expanding their customer base, increasing their revenue or profits, or capturing more of the market share. Growth is consistently the key measure of success. But with growth comes new challenges for leaders, including heightened security threats. Ensuring the safety and security of information is a top priority in the modern organization. And we all know that data breaches can be costly, both financially and in terms of damage to reputation. Many highly confidential meetings, board meetings, financial discussions, undisclosed product launches are all happening online now, without the same protections that they may have had in person behind a set of closed doors. The speed of work is outpacing our ability to keep up. The teamwork tax is happening because teamwork is the heart of organizational health and growth. It's easy for individuals, groups, and organizations to feel a loss of control given the volume of meetings that all fill our calendars. In just these past 3 years, Teams meetings and calls have increased by 3 times. Both this and other factors accrue what we are referring to as the teamwork tax. And while we're racing from one meeting to another meeting, it's not only the external connections that are suffering. Half of the respondents in the recent Work Trend Index of 2023 report and agree that connecting with colleagues within their own organization can still be challenging. 68% of business decision makers say that ensuring cohesion and social connection within teams has been a moderate to major challenge due to the shift of hybrid work and work hours. And then, of course, there are security threats. With the increased meetings and calls, internal and external participants, half of organizations report that they struggle to keep their information safe and secure. The Trellix 2023 threat report measured a 142% increase in vishing, which is voice phishing, attacks from Q3 to Q4 in 2022. When you add Teams Phone, Teams Premium, or Teams Rooms to your Teams solution, you can benefit from the converged value of the end-to-end integrated experience. Teams Phone is the market leader in cloud calling, with more than 12 million PSTNs enabled and 80 million monthly active users. With Teams Phone, you get a secure, modern communication solution. Stay connected and work from any location with voice and video calls. You can use VoIP or PSTN. And Teams Phone brings traditional calling features that we expect from a phone system, such as voicemail, speed dial, call forwarding, all while delivering the modern features that organizations need, like collaborative calling. Of course, Teams Premium brings the latest of AI technologies to your Teams solution, including large language models powered by OpenAI's GPT to make meetings more intelligent, personalized, and protected. Whether that's one-on-one, large meetings, virtual appointments, or webinars. And with Teams Rooms, you can bridge the gap between people working remotely and those that are still in office with a team meeting room solution that allows everyone to be seen and heard and fully participate from anywhere. Teams Rooms are the most broadly deployed cloud-connected room system on the planet. There are more than 500,000 active Team Rooms devices, up 70% year over year. Imagine what that could do for your business. With the power of additions like Teams Phone, Teams Rooms, and Teams Premium, you can create a workplace with the ability to work smarter, not harder, enhancing how you meet, chat, call, and collaborate. Intelligent productivity are AI-powered capabilities and innovative designs that can enable you to meet, call, and collaborate with new levels of efficiency. Richer engagements in the smart workplace with Teams help you get the most from every interaction through experiences that focus on inclusion, involvement, and connection. Flexible workspaces allows you to take your teams cross-town, cross-country, or across the globe. Consistent, reliable Teams experiences bring people together to get things done, no matter where they are. And advanced protections in the smart workplace gives you more peace of mind that your organization, data, and people are well protected. Forrester's Total Economic Impact Report across the last few years outlines the breakout value of a smarter workplace driven by Teams, which includes a 291% return on investment that begins to be realized within 6 months of adoption, as well as an estimated $8 million operational benefit after 3 years of use on average. So let's dig into some of the key features of Teams that helps you work smarter, not harder. including things like real-time transcription with Teams Phone, AI-assisted meeting recaps with Teams Premium, and intelligent speakers and cameras with Teams Rooms. Team solutions are designed for workplace efficiency. AI-powered meeting recaps will help you ensure meeting alignment by automating the aggregation of discussion points, defining next steps, and allowing you to focus on the work that's most valuable to you. Integrated calling, chats, and meetings are bringing everything together for streamlined communication, minimizing inefficiencies by working together. Whiteboard and intelligent content capture cultivate real-time collaboration experiences and co-creation, allowing the teams to achieve more in the moment. And call routing with auto attendant and call queues can help efficiently connect internal and external parties, leading to improved customer and employee satisfaction. From team members to partners and customers, your organization is centered around people. And the smart workplace helps you strengthen that focus, creating rich experiences that deepen relationships, improve satisfaction, and create a higher loyalty from your customers. Advanced calling helps enhance mobility with the clarity and reliability of your organizational needs, because integrating the apps, data, and people that are important to your organization, such as an integrated contact center solution that is certified for teams, you can reduce context switching and empower teams to do their best work directly from the team solution. I see Kristen, which means a question is up. Or I sound like I'm underwater. There's a flood going on in my area, so it might be that.
Oh no. Well, I hope that you stay dry. But Shane has a question in the chat asking about the differences between Teams Premium versus the Copilot add-on license, which I'm assuming is probably the M365 Copilot.
Yeah, absolutely. So M365 Copilot does have some of these Teams Premium features, but M365 Copilot goes beyond those features and also shows up in other solutions, of course, like your Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, and many of the solutions within M365 itself. So for users that may not need something that robust, Teams Premium is a fantastic option. If what we're listing off during this conversation today sounds like the right option for a user, and they spend most of their day within Teams, whether that's working internally, facing in customers, that can help you define which one would be the best AI-assisted solution for your customers. On our AI landing page, we actually even have a playbook that can help outline some of the differences in what's available there. So that is a fantastic question, as they do overlap in some ways. And so we'll hop right in unless there's any other questions around that.
No, good to go.
Virtual appointments provide you a more personalized end-to-end experience with pre-appointment SMS or text reminders sent directly to mobile devices. You can have a branded lobby room and post-appointment follow-ups, which are in the works but coming soon. You can host high-quality webinars using advanced functionality, and that can help drive deeper engagement and generate new leads. And when we think about what makes Teams Premium different from M365 Copilot, the ability to brand those features, like branding the lobby room, branding your webinars, those are very specific to Teams Premium. So if you're really looking to put your brand first and foremost and to add a new level of professionalism to how you do business within Teams, Teams Premium is a great choice for doing that. One of the key insights from recent years is that organizations can adjust to workforce dynamics, and they will have a competitive advantage when doing so. Smart workplaces with teams can help you equip a flexible workplace that allows you to stay connected, productive, and yes, even happy wherever they find themselves at work. Flexibility to shift between devices and networks without interruption with features like endpoint transfer, Apple CarPlay support, simultaneous ring between devices, uplift call to a Teams meeting within Teams Phone Mobile, and companion experiences with Teams Rooms. Consistent and intuitive Teams experiences enable users to seamlessly join calls and meetings from a range of devices and spaces. Outlook integration with Teams Rooms lets you easily find a room and one-touch join, which makes joining Teams meetings even easier. With a better together experience, team users can answer a call, mute or unmute, and end the call on either their device or on the Teams client. AI optimized experiences accommodate meeting and room setups to deliver immersive experiences no matter where you are. With intelligent cameras and speakers, you can easily identify both remote and in-room attendees. Experiences designed for connection and inclusivity help ensure remote attendees don't feel isolated or disengaged, with features such as captions, raising hand, chat bubbles, live reflections, noise suppression, and flexible video layouts, as well as collaborative whiteboarding. And last but not least, we need to enable work beyond the corporate office with security capabilities that safeguard your people, your sensitive data, and ultimately your brand. End-to-end encryption for one-to-one calls keeps meetings safe and secure. AI-powered spam and fraud call controls help minimize distractions and help to protect your team. Automated meeting controls and information protection capabilities help deter IP leaks. And AI insights and tools provide uninterrupted risk remediation to help you reduce downtime with capabilities like device analytics and the AI-driven health alerts for Teams rooms. A little story about Sulava, who is a consulting company that specializes in digital transformation. And as a part of their own efforts for ongoing improvement and modernization, they have deployed Teams Premium. And not only have their employees reported time-saving efficiencies, but they've been able to extend their reach even more thoroughly through branded external trainings and branded webinars, while ensuring that they are meeting the security demands that trusted advisors need in the era of AI. And if you want to know more about the M365 solutions and how they work together, I want to invite you to join us for our Modern Work Bootcamp on the 20th and 21st of this month. That's right, it is next week. I will drop a link in the chat for you to go ahead and hop in. We'll be talking all things Copilot, all things AI, and we are certainly happy to see you there. Wherever you are in the process, whether it is discovery to planning to deployment, just know that there are Pax8 resources from self-led academy courses all the way to done-for-you professional services that help you build the strategy to succeed. So I look forward to seeing you all at boot camp, which is hosted on Teams. And unless there are any questions, I'm going to pass it off to our Teams loving guest vendor so you can learn more about the ways that Pax8 supports the growth of your business. Kristen, you have anything else for me?
We are good to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Vandit, I think we are over to you.
Yes, we are. Let me know if you can see my slides.
I sure can.
Perfect. Now, I just want to say, Steve from SIPPIO, unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us today, but he still wants to share a message with you all on SIPPIO joining the Pax8 Marketplace, their solution and their integration with Teams and Teams Premium. We'll also have Nicole and James live in the background answering any questions and answers in the chat and answering live. But without further ado, I'll pass it on, and here's a quick message from Steve.
Oh no, I'm not hearing Steve, Vandit. Can you try to reshare your screen maybe?
Yes, 1 second.
Marketplace.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Forkham, Director of Program Management here at SIPPIO, and I'd like to share with you our exciting news about entering the Pax8 Marketplace, how we can help partners monetize their Microsoft Teams phone sales, and how we can help you accelerate into this growth space. Now, as a course of my career, I've worked with channel partners pretty much for the last decade. And the last 4 years specifically have really been a dramatic change for channel partners that has left them somewhat frustrated. You know, the demand for unified communications as a service offerings has slown. There's no more greenfields. In 2020, channel partners could not lose. Every single customer needed a video meeting solution and they needed it overnight. So a channel partner was really able to clean up. But the game of musical chairs is at a point where the music is stopped and everybody's got a tush and a cush. So selling today is a lot harder than it ever has been because now we're talking about competitive displacement. When you introduce a UCaaS offering to a customer, you're trying to get them to change from what they already know instead of enhance what they already have. And when you couple the fact that it's harder to generate business with the fact that in today's economic conditions, these sales are increasingly less lucrative, this is a losing proposition for channel partners. So I spend the bulk of my time trying to talk to channel partners about the opportunity that Teams provides. Because ultimately, channel partners still see Teams as an obstacle to selling a competitive unified communications offering instead of the opportunity to really accelerate into this market by offering an additive service instead of a competitive one. This is why I'm so excited about Pax8 and our entrance to the Pax8 marketplace, because you as partners understand the opportunity that Teams provides. Many of you are already capitalizing on this, but your selling services, for whatever reasons, don't include margins. We can fix that. Well, it starts with our platform. The SIPPIO platform was designed from the ground up to help you as partners jump into this space without the need for a PhD in telecom. The first rule of SIPPIO is we don't talk about telecom, to paraphrase Fight Club. Our platform is designed to deliver speed, simplicity, and flexibility to you as partners and to your customers. In fact, our fast, easy, and flexible solution makes quoting as easy as shopping on Amazon.com. Literally, one SKU is all you need to quote for your end users. SIPPIO Connect. It includes everything you need: a phone number, unlimited calling in North America, emergency services support via Intrado, so we're fully compliant with Carey's Law and Ray Baum Act, and a one-time number activation or a number port if your customers are bringing service to the platform with them. Activation is as fast as signing up for Netflix. Within minutes, new numbers are pushed up to the Microsoft Teams tenant and your customer is in business, which means you start earning almost instantly from the moment the customer hits buy. No long, drawn-out, complicated professional services needs to slow down your time to revenue. We move quick, and because it's fully automated, we move fast. And the platform is flexible. We support not only Microsoft, but also Zoom. So if you have customers that are operating a mixed environment, which is common in education, or if your customer makes an acquisition of another company that's using a competitive solution like Zoom, our platform becomes a nexus point of connectivity. Users can move from platform to platform without the pain of another number port, which increases stickiness for the partner. Because in the old days, when somebody moved from one platform to another, you most likely lost that customer's revenue, not with SIPPIO. Now, our platform also offers network reach that's almost unrivaled in this industry. We can offer service in over 80 countries with SIPPIO Enterprise Connect. So if you have a customer that's based in the US, but they have users or offices internationally, you can now offer them the simplicity of one supplier, one bill, by giving them access to the SIPPIO global network. Now, that global network isn't just for offering telephone numbers. We engineered our platform for tomorrow by leveraging the power of Microsoft Azure. The SIPPIO platform is Azure native, which means we live right next door to Teams. Our customers don't have to commute from an off-site co-located data center through the Microsoft Azure peering service to get into Teams. We live right next door, which means increased call quality because we don't have as many network hops, and it means increased resiliency and reliability because we're leveraging the power of the Azure platform. Reliability is baked into our solution. It's not by accident. We've engineered this platform to the point where we have never had an outage in our entire existence. We offer customers a 5.9 SLA because of our confidence in Microsoft Azure. We're deployed in 8, 9 if you count US East and West separately, Azure network regions. Within each region, we're deployed in 3 different zones. And within each zone, the solution is highly available. Our platform does not fail. So partners can trust SIPPIO. We're not some Joey Bag of Donuts provider that's set up a session border controller and a single carrier connection in somebody's garage. We're enterprise grade, leveraging the power and scale of Azure to support customers of any size, from 1 to 100,000 and beyond. And that trust with channel partners is something we take super seriously. We understand the value that you as channel partners bring to your customers. And that's why SIPPIO is channel exclusive. We don't sell direct. So you never have to worry about a SIPPIO sales rep reaching out to your customer or potentially creating havoc in your go-to-market. We're there to support you as much or as little as you want. Speaking of support, we have engineered our solution to not only be resilient for your end customers, but we want to be a good partner to you. Our partner enablement model complements the Pax8 partner enablement growth system. So our discover, initiate, and launch programs not only give you the tools, but the instructions on how to use them. When we go through Discover, we're going to show you the SIPPIO value proposition, how we educate customers on the value of moving to Teams, and we're going to give you a glimpse at SIPPIO Portal. Then we move you to Initiate. This is where we train you on using SIPPIO Portal to generate quotes, manage your customers, and to leverage Portal beyond just the quoting and technical pieces. Because when we move to launch, This is where you're going to learn about all of the assets and collateral that SIPPIO has made available for you as partners. We don't just make the product, we help you with business development through the use of collateral, drip campaigns, customer targeting, social media frameworks, and a host of other tools to help you fully succeed into this market. So now let's talk about the different ways that you can use SIPPIO to accelerate in 2024 and beyond. It starts by, to use an analogy, refinancing your existing mortgages. Let's take a look at the customers that you've already sold Microsoft Teams phone to. Those calling plans that you're making almost no margin on. Let's refinance them. Let's move those customers as those contracts come up for renewal from a calling plan that doesn't really give you any margin to SIPPIO Connect that gives you $2 of margin per seat. You can see how that number grows simply by taking the customers that you've already got on your books and moving them to a better solution that pays you more. Then let's start to accelerate. Let's look at the rest of your customer base that has Office 365, but they haven't migrated their legacy phone system to Teams Phone. Let's sell them the Teams Phone standard license. Let's sell them a SIPPIO calling plan, so this way they can lower their total cost of ownership by almost 45%. They can increase productivity, giving almost 8 hours a week back to their knowledge workers by consolidating the app sprawl that has developed over the years with all these standalone services. And let's help them better leverage their investments in Copilot. Let's help them gain efficiencies, because when you move to Teams Phone and you have Copilot for your Office 365 suite, it spreads across like a thick layer of icing on a cake to now your phone calls. So Copilot can summarize your phone calls, it can track action items, and for your sales reps, when they're talking to prospects, it can auto-generate follow-up emails, giving the sales reps more time to be out talking to customers and selling. Let's continue to rev the engine. Let's go out and get an unreasonable share of that growth that's happening in Microsoft Teams Phone. Over 45% year over year. So let's go out and sell Office 365, either the E5 or add the phone system standard entitlement, and let's add a SIPPIO calling plan. You can see how this margin continues to grow seat by seat by seat. But then let's put the pedal to the metal. Let's talk about those customers that we've already got on book. Because as famous marketer Seth Godin said, the startup mistake is thinking I just need more customers for a single product, when in reality, you need more products for your customers. And that is what happens when we put the pedal to the metal. So with SIPPIO, we don't only offer SIPPIO Connect to enable calling in Teams, we are building out and bringing a whole library of third-party services to the Pax8 partners can use to plug holes in the Teams solution, to deliver more value to your end customers, and to increase your wallet share, to grow the average revenue per user, because each one of these stacks on top of the margin that you earned in the previous slide. And when you add more of these services, not only are you growing your ARPU, you're actually almost making yourself irreplaceable. Because Joey Bag of Donuts may be able to give your customer a calling plan, but if they have to account for reporting, recording, and AI analytics to find a solution for mobility, if they have to find an answer, SMS, iMessage, and WhatsApp, it's almost impossible, and it makes you almost irreplaceable as a partner. All with the simplicity of one hand to shake service, single provider, single bill, now empowered through the Pax8 marketplace. This is SIPPIO. We make it fast, we make it flexible, and we make it easy for you to turn on calling in Teams and add even more value for your customers.
And that was our message from Steve. Before I keep going on, Kristen, is there any questions we have in the chat window regarding SIPPIO or Teams calling in general?
Nothing we haven't answered already, so we are good to keep on rolling.
Perfect. We'll just keep on pushing through then. We'll hop into our enablement update, topic that's near and dear to my heart, talking about our, our schedule events that we have for 2024, as well as some new trainings that we have coming up on Academy. But the first thing I want to talk about is our Pax8 Microsoft Academy Hub. For those of you who haven't had a chance to check it out or haven't heard about the Microsoft Hub and Pax8 Academy, highly recommend that you do. We're adding new trainings every month on relevant topics to you, from updating our courses on core cloud solutions, to new AI and Copilot courses, to new security courses, and then partnered learning opportunities with Microsoft. You'll find your next steps for learning, enablement, and just brushing up on some core skills right here in Pax8 Academy. So if you're looking for anything after this call in a specific area, highly recommend checking it out here first and then going from there. But as we're talking about trainings, I also want to talk about our hands-on labs. So for partners looking to gain hands-on technical experience in key specific workloads, please register for our Modern Work and Azure hands-on labs that we have running regularly every month. So these hands-on labs will help you to develop deeper skills with topics ranging from Copilot to Entra and Intune to Azure AVD and Defender for Cloud. These topics will be rotating, changing every month. So if there is a specific workload you're looking for, feel free to sign up, check out the hands-on labs, and get started today. I do recommend registering sooner rather than later, as we do see these tend to fill up and we have a long wait list. And then boot camps. We have our boot camps back on the calendar for 2024, planned all the way out to the end of the year. Thanks, Britton, for the plug for the Modern Workplace Bootcamp earlier. If you're in North America, register for our technical boot camps today. We have dates for Modern Workplace, Azure, and BizApps all the way from now up until December. We're running about 2 of each for the year. So if you miss one, we'll have another one, but highly recommend signing up for both. That way you get the full breadth of content that we're offering. And if you're joining us from the UK or Australia, check out pax8.com events for the full list of events happening in your region, with opportunities from launch briefings and mission briefings to cybersecurity master classes and boot camps that'll be happening in region. You'll find the next steps of your enablement journey here. So if you're looking for our events, technical, sales focused, otherwise, pax8.com/events, and we'll be dropping this link for our boot camps here in the chat window. And we also have our new event, Momentum, happening in 2024. Momentum is a revamped event for leaders, technical partners, focusing on sharpening your skills and translating the knowledges that you've gained from previous Pax8 events. So think your mission briefings, your boot camps, your master classes, taking all of that and then turning it into operational success. With customized breakout sessions and an interactive approach, this event will delve deeper into key aspects to help our partners achieve their goals. If you're interested in registering, Momentum will be happening this year from October 10th through the 12th in Denver. Again, it is first come, first serve. Highly recommend checking it out, registering, and getting signed up early before we see all of those spots filled. And then talking about another event that drives a lot of our partners' interest, Beyond 2024. Our second inaugural Beyond will be happening from June 9th to the 11th. And if you weren't there last year, I hope we can see you again and see you in Denver this year as we continue to grow our community and connect you with leading industry experts to talk about the trends that are happening in our market. And if you were there last year, we're excited to see you again this year in Denver. And if you did miss the early bird pricing that we had running in late 2023, no worries, we do have discount pricing running until the end of April at $399. I do recommend registering for that sooner rather than later, as we did see a lot of interest for the early bird pricing and we saw that fill up. So if you're interested in Beyond and haven't had a chance to check it out, what the event is about, or sign up, head to pax8beyond.com for more information and to register today. And then a shameless plug for our fearless host, Kristen Fehrenbach, and her Technically Unravel podcast. She's doing episodes every week with Cam Goldman, where they're talking about key trends, key tools, key workloads happening in the sector now. And you often have regular guests ranging from industry experts such as Matt Lee, our cloud solutions director. We most recently had on our Chief Revenue Officer, Nick Hetty. If you haven't had a chance to check out that episode, I highly recommend it. They talked a lot about the different purchasing options, what's available for partners, and what partners should expect going into this 2024 year. So if you haven't had a chance to watch one, our recordings are posted, and we will be having another live one upcoming this Thursday. But with that, just wanted to flash a couple resources that we have. We'll be dropping these in the chat window. These will range anything from academy trainings, our main landing pages, as well as just information on our programs and then our events that will be happening this year. So if you're looking for anything, we have this resource slide that we'll be dropping in the chat, and it will be available on Academy after this call. But I think with that, we're at Q&A.
We sure are. Thank you so much, Bandit. A lot of stuff covered there. So we've been answering a lot of these questions as we have been going. So I am not sure. Let me just double check and see what else we have. All right. It looks like we are caught up with everything. But you know what? I wanted to bring on Britton for just a moment. And I'm sorry about this no look pass, girl, but you know, you went through a lot of stuff with Teams Premium and loved all of that content. I think it's such a good option for so many people. And, you know, the question about what was the differences in that and Copilot got me thinking. I mean, Britton, are we seeing our partners at Pax8, you know, taking that as a stepping stone? Are we seeing them use both of these SKUs together? Can you kind of walk me through that?
Yeah, that's a great question and one that I like to get nerdy about. So I'm happy to revisit this. I think that it is important for you to define what the customer's needs are in AI before you make the decision about which tool to get in front of them. And so we are definitely seeing Teams Premium be picked up by our partners and their customers when it is for users that spend most of their time in Teams. So whether this is people leaders who have those very full calendars that we mentioned that are kind of moving back to back to back, whether it is your, you know, high potential sales team members that are hosting a lot of front facing webinars to customers, or doing things where that white labeling becomes so important. That is a really key thing to listen to when you're consulting about what AI can do for your customer. Being able to have, you know, a webinar that looks completely owned and branded by you does certainly add another layer to the customer experience that is not a part of M365 Copilot. So those are some of the big things that are completely outside of Copilot's capabilities. But when we think about some of the actual Teams AI infused experiences, that's where you do see some what am I trying to say? Some overlap. Yeah, so you get the Teams recaps that you would traditionally get in Teams Premium in the same way if you were to roll out M365 Copilot. But if you take the entire Copilot SKU, that's also going to allow you to do things in Outlook, like summarize a long thread of emails where you're trying to really find what it is that the action that needs to be taken among all the people that are there. When you're working with it in Excel, it can be an incredible partner to help you with formulas and working through some complex material inside of the data that you work with there. So I think that it's very important for our partners to have a very pointed conversation with their customers when they say, I'm interested in AI or I've heard about Copilot. what is it that you're looking for these AI-infused solutions to do for you in your business? Because it may not be the same for every single person on that team. You may have 5 or 10 people that need to be in the full SKU of M365 Copilot, but you may have 10 salespeople, sales managers that Teams Premium would be the better answer for what it is that they are doing every day. So we are going to continue to dive into these conversations because we know that Copilot's going to keep on coming. Microsoft's intention is to have a Copilot infused into every experience in one way or another. But defining what's different about them is important, and it really starts with finding what the customer means when they say they're interested in what AI can do for them.
Goodness, thank you so much, Britton. Super appreciate you diving into that. And just to double down, we are going to be talking to somebody directly from Microsoft this week on Technically Unraveled about Azure and security copilots. They are still in private preview, so make sure you tune in to learn more. I thank you so much for joining, and we will see you this next month. Bye, everybody.